I don't care what people think about me. Do you believe that for a second? You probably don't. You probably think I'm lying. But in reality, what I truly, truly care about is what my Savior thinks. Now, of course, I want to look nice and I want to look great, and everybody kind of wants that. But deep down, what's most important is, am I letting the Savior's light shine in me? And let me explain where I'm going with this thought is, we were having discussion at dinner with some friends, and we were talking about attire at church. And while we were on vacation, we went to church, and we wore shorts, and because that's all. We had not planned on packing, or we didn't pack any church clothes because it was daylight savings, and the church that they had there was only 9 a.m. church, and we thought there's no way our kids are getting up, and we didn't plus the room to pack everybody's church clothes is insane. But all my kids were up, all my kids wanted to go, and so my kids were in shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flops, which is normally what we don't wear at church. So we were discussing this at dinner with some friends, and someone said, it drives me nuts how people judge those who aren't dressed appropriately. And I'm like, wait, do people judge those who come to church not dressed appropriately? Like, I guess maybe people do. But I can say with 100% sincerity, I have never seen that myself. I have never seen, as a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, a guy came to our congregation, and he was dressed in overalls, denim overalls, and he had a shirt on with the sleeves rolled up, and he had tattoos on his arms. And actually, I saw more people flock to him than if someone had come in a suit that didn't normally come to our congregation. And so I personally, and I know that there are people out there who felt that way, but I personally have never seen it. I think those are one of those things that we say, but maybe someone feels uncomfortable when they come and they're not dressed. When you walk into a congregation and everybody is in their Sunday best, why do we have our Sunday best? Why is that something that is such a big deal? Or why is that a cultural thing, or is that a church thing? And I always say my standards for Sunday come from what I have studied, what I have read, and what I think, and they're standards that I try to teach my kids and that we do as a family. But I don't, and I tell my kids, don't judge how anybody else, because maybe they haven't studied that. Maybe they haven't heard that. Maybe they don't know that. And so that's the difference. And don't judge. Well, she should know better. Does she? Should she? I don't know. I mean, when you go to church in Europe, when you go to church in other places outside of suburbia, you'll see that not everybody has a white dress shirt. Not everybody has church shoes or even church pants. Steve talks about how when he was in Bulgaria, there was a guy with the AC/DC t-shirt blessing the sacrament. Did that take away? No, it didn't. And so I always say, if someone wants to judge me, please judge me. Because by that judgment, you're going to be judged. But for me, I love to dress up. And there was a conference talk back in 2009, I think, or 2008, and it was by Elder Oaks at the time. He was Elder Oaks. And he talked about how we dress. He was talking about the sacrament. And in this, he said, you dress according to where you're going. If you're going hiking, you dress a certain way. Like I might wear this hiking, no, but typically you wouldn't wear this hiking. But when you're going to do ordinances, whether it's in the temple or partaking in the sacrament, how those are more sacred. And I guess the word Sunday best is just showing respect for the Savior. Because I know when I'm dressed nicer, I act more reverent. I'm more proper. I'm not casual. as is if I dress casual. But then I also know that there's been times when we went out right after Hurricane Harvey to go do service, and everybody was in their shorts and their yellow t-shirts. And we still partook of the sacrament, and there was still a huge reverence there. So it's all in your attitude. It's all in how do you want to worship the Savior, and sometimes when we're going to muck out houses, we can't, obviously we're not going to dress in our Sunday best. And if we're on vacation, I think the Savior would rather have us at church than not, because we don't have something to wear. And so I hope that nobody judges those who come. They may not know. They may have no idea. They may, and that's fine. And that, on the other hand, obviously I don't care what people think, because I wear hats to church, and some people think that's over the top. Some people think I'm trying to show off, but to me, I love the symbolism that there is in the scriptures with the woman having her head covered when she goes into a church, and I've seen that in other churches and other religions, and it's something I like. So that's just something, that's what I've come to think. So just, if you want to study that talk by Elder Oaks, you can, but don't judge each other. Don't. And I really think that nobody has a problem, that typically we're all more worried about ourselves than anybody else. I mean, I really think that this is something that isn't, I've personally, in all my years, I have never seen it at church. And I know people probably have. And what is it? If you haven't been offended at church, then you're not going enough. Is that what they say? That people may, and let them. If that's their thing, let them. But it's just between you and the Lord. And that's all it is. So I hope that none of this is going on where you are, and that you can stop it, and that you just embrace everyone who's come to partake of the sacrament and to feel the Spirit and to worship the Savior. And I hope you remember that you have a wonderful week. Thanks.